There you going, guys. Right, as you can see, I've turned the car around. Uh, Rear end's back in temporarily. I just put it in because I sort of needed to turn it around to get a bit more room, especially when I get into the paint stage. I was quite tight over that side, so I've got plenty of room here now. So especially like once I moved off the jack lock, I can get it quite central, make it nice and easy to for paint and priming and whatever. It gives me heaps of room. Uh, and the other thing I've been up to is I've got the spare block sitting in place. Um, so it was just I could actually just the block with the sump and the engine mounts just fits through this hole in the radiator support panel. It just sneaks through like top and bottom, and side to side wasn't quite so bad, but yeah, top to bottom was real close. So, and that was damn side easy and trying to lift it over top anyway. Three of us managed to get it in there reasonably easy. So yeah, I'm just working on just sort some bolts out, and I've got the train sitting down there in place, ready to. I'm just going to slip it onto the jack and jack it up and slide it forward and try and do some bolts up, and then put the cross member back into the back and the mount. So then I can start sorting out gear linkages, bolts, and the spare set of heads on that I've got, and all sorts of bits and pieces like that are going to be in the road for the for the headers. God, my brain wasn't working. So I'm going to put the starter motor on and just anything that's going to be in the road. Like, yeah, for the headers. So you want to get the gear linkages on. I'll mock my intake manifold up and see whether the kick down's going to work. Otherwise, if I can't use the the linkage kick down, which I probably can't because it's probably going to be too high, but it's either that or I get a cable one, which is probably not a big problem. But I'll try and use the linkage one if I can because I've got it. So then again, you can possibly modify things a little bit to make it work. So probably what I could do there, if I had to, I could probably find a stock manifold to sit on here, bolt it up, and then see how much taller the other one is because it's quite a bit taller for the carburetor, with being a big single plane. I'll just flip this off and show you. This is a Mopar M1 single plane, like air gap sort of type one. It's quite a lot higher. To be honest, like I don't really know how well they work. My mate used to have one on a 360. He's now, I think he's running. I can't remember what he's running now, but something similar. But he's got alloy heads and stroke crank and all the rest of it. It's quite a lot of grunt. So he doesn't run that one quite so much. Actually, I think he's still running it on his other VC, I think, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So I'll mock that up and try and get all that sort of stuff sort of set up so I can get these manifolds made. So as you can see, there's not a lot of room, and especially with being right-hand drive, there's no room at all for for the oil filter. So these have got they use a remote oil filter in these cars. Actually, all the Valiants in New Zealand and Australia, they're right-hand drive. They have a remote system. They have like a plate that goes on there with two like hose fittings or pipe fittings, and you have a remote filter somewhere else. Some of them set up on here. If you got the genuine steel pipe things, you can put them anywhere really. I've got a flexible hose one, so I haven't tried that on this car yet either. So that'll be probably something else I'll bolt up and fit on and see how that all works. So yeah, because these are quite tight in the engine bay. So, but as long as everything works all right, there's a reasonable amount of room to snakes and pipes down in here. So yeah, like we'll make something work, especially once I get the back of this trans on and lift that up, because that's going to come up quite a bit. So yeah, I'll start playing around, get this trans on, and we'll try and get back to you and show you that on anyway, and show you what the difference and see how much the clearance difference is. I have had this in here before, but I've never had everything hooked up. I've just sort of sat it and started mocking things up years ago, but I sort of never got any further. So I'm quite a lot bit further ahead now, like especially on this sort of stuff. So I've got to get it sorted. So I know when everything's painted in here, I don't want to be screwing around trying to figure things out then. Like I'd rather do it now while it's still in primer and all that sort of stuff. So it's a damn sight easier to do it now, and not if I scratch something or bump something like that, like I'm not worrying about paint. So we'll get that done now, and we'll get back to you. Alrighty.